What if I told you that right now there are police officers collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars in pension payments from their prison cells? Officers who are convicted of rape, murder, and kidnapping. But somehow the system still rewards them. Today, we're exposing the shocking reality of how the thin blue line protects even the worst criminals wearing badges. Before we dive in, make sure you hit the subscribe button because this story is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about justice in America. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why so many people have lost faith in our justice system. So let's start with something that I think will absolutely blow your mind. According to a CNN investigation, police officers convicted of rape, murder, and other serious crimes are actually collecting tens of millions of dollars in retirement benefits. We're talking about officers who committed the most heinous crimes imaginable, and they're still getting paid by the taxpayers they betrayed. Here's the wild truth. In most of the United States, an officer found guilty of raping, murdering, or kidnapping someone on the job wouldn't lose their lucrative pensions. Think about that for a second. If you work at McDonald's and you steal some money from the cash register, you're fired on the spot, and you might go to jail. But if you're a cop who commits murder, you could retire comfortably on taxpayer money. One disgraced police chief mentioned in the investigation has been receiving around $250,000 a year from his federal prison cell. He was convicted of helping orchestrate a widespread cover-up of inmate beatings and other abuses. By the time he started his 3-year sentence, he had already pocketed $1.4 million. But wait, it gets worse. Sean Jordan was a former Rochester police officer who raped a 13-year-old girl and received a sentence so light it's truly shocking. In the summer of 2022, 40-year-old Sean Jordan invited a 13-year-old girl into his home in South Bristol, New York. When there, he raped her. On another day, he forcibly touched her again. Jordan wasn't just any man. He was a sworn Rochester police officer, a man paid and trusted to protect the public. By early 2024, the case was ready for court. Jordan faced charges of second-degree rape and forcible touching. Conviction could have meant years behind bars. But prosecutors took a very different path. In March 2024, Jordan pleaded guilty under a plea deal that stunned the public. His sentence, 10 weekends in jail, about 20 days total, 10 years probation, sex offender registry, over $1,000 in fines, and that's it. Ontario County Assistant District Attorney Kelly Wolford admitted she wasn't fully satisfied with the deal, but said it was about protecting the victim. Forcing a 13-year-old to take the stand, face cross-examination, and relieve her abuse could have been devastating. Wolford believes Jordan wouldn't have pleaded guilty if prison was guaranteed, so this deal locked in a conviction without a trial. Sometimes these plea deals are so unbelievable. I mean, they're going to say that they think it was better for the 13-year-old than to face trial, but instead now she grows up knowing that the cop that abused her got 10 weekends in jail for his crime. I mean, I don't know how they could convince themselves that that's any better. Even Judge Christina Carl said she had no words for Jordan's betrayal of public trust. She admitted prison would have been more appropriate, but still approved the plea for the victim's sake. And it wasn't his only offense. In March 2023, while still a police officer, Jordan exposed himself to a 16-year-old girl during a video chat, allegedly in uniform. In that separate Monroe County case, he pleaded guilty to disseminating indecent material to a minor and endangering a child. His sentence there, 6 months in county jail, plus probation. He's serving that time right now, 2 victims, 2 convictions, barely a year behind bars combined. For Sean Jordan, Justin meant weekends in jail. This sentence is the epitome of injustice and a dangerous nod to child sexual predators while in uniform, letting them know, no worries, we won't go too hard on you. You're one of us. There's no definitive information confirming his pension having been forfeited, so it's very possible that he's still receiving benefits. I just don't know. Next, let me tell you about Daniel Holtzclaw. This is a case that shows how the system almost failed completely. Daniel Holtzclaw was an Oklahoma City police officer who used his badge to prey on African American women. He would run background checks on potential victims, specifically targeting women with criminal records because he knew they'd be less likely to be believed. And then this predator would pull women over during traffic stops and force them to perform sexual acts under threat of arrest. He assaulted at least 13 women, with victims ranging from teenagers to grandmothers. But here's what's terrifying. Holtzclaw almost got away with it. During the trial, the defense team systematically attacked the credibility of every single victim, bringing up their criminal records and essentially putting them on trial instead of the rapist cop. The only reason Holtzclaw was convicted was because of one brave victim who immediately reported the assault, and because DNA evidence was found on his uniform. Without that physical evidence, this serial predator might still be wearing a badge today. Holtzclaw was eventually sentenced to 263 years in prison. But here's what's super concerning. How many other officers like him are still out there? I mean, I think it's safe to say there's some. So just recently, former Arkansas Police Chief Grant Hardin was serving time for first-degree murder and rape, and he literally walked out of prison. How'd he do that, you might wonder? Well, he disguised himself as a prison guard and walked right through the front gate. This is a man described by prosecutors as a sociopath, someone who committed murder and rape, and the prison system was so incompetent that he just left in a fake uniform. Well, a real uniform, but it wasn't his. The fact that someone this dangerous could escape so easily raises serious questions about how we handle convicted officers. Are we taking their crimes seriously, or are we still giving them special treatment even after conviction? I mean, you might think that these are isolated incidents, but let me show you the disturbing pattern. According to data from the Henry A. Wallace Police Crime Database, the number of officers convicted for on-duty killings is shockingly small compared to the number of people killed by police each year. And when officers are convicted, they often receive sentences that would be unthinkable for regular citizens. It's insane. We're talking about cases where officers who committed murders while in uniform get much less time than drug dealers. The message that this sends is crystal clear, I think. If you wear a badge, you play by different rules. And that's not just unfair, it's dangerous for everybody. But here's what really gets me. Experts say that the threat of losing pension benefits could be a powerful deterrent to police misconduct. But we're not using it. We're literally paying criminals to be criminals as long as they have badges. How much sense does that make? So why should you care about this? Why does this matter to you personally? Well, because every time a police officer gets away with murder, rape, or kidnapping, it erodes trust in the entire system. When regular people see that cops can commit the worst crimes imaginable and still collect paychecks, they lose faith in justice, and they absolutely should. But when people lose faith in the justice system, society breaks down. We end up with communities where people don't cooperate with police investigations, where witnesses don't come forward, and where victims don't report crimes. This isn't anti-police. This is pro-justice. Good cops should be the first ones demanding accountability for bad cops, because every corrupt officer makes their job much harder, makes their job more dangerous. So what can we do about this? First, you can share this video. People need to know about this pattern of injustice. The more people who understand the scope of this problem, the more pressure we can put on lawmakers to fix it. Second, look up your local representatives and ask them about police accountability laws in your area. Do convicted officers lose their pensions? And if not, why not? That's a fair question to be asking. Finally, stay informed. Subscribe to this channel because we're going to keep exposing these stories that mainstream media often ignores. Please leave a comment below. Were you shocked by any of these cases? Do you think penalties for police crimes should be harsher than for regular citizens, or at least as harsh? I want to hear your thoughts about it. If you found this video eye-opening, check out my other videos regarding police. I have other content that I think will make you see law enforcement in a completely different light. Maybe the same light that this video made you see them in. Anyway, subscribe to this channel, and as always, thanks for watching. This is Hidden Headlines. I'm Caroline, and I will see y'all soon, okay? Bye.